Okay, first of all, I'm going to talk about the herbs a little bit, and I'm going to give people a brief synopsis and explain why I'm going into herbs. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you for your energy, your presence, your mastermind, and the divine participation of your consciousness in this event. I thank you all for coming, for your support, your willingness, open-mindedness, so we can once again have another magnificent building session. Like I said earlier before we started recording the tape, that I mentioned any of these herbs, and anybody have a testimony about herbs that they have experienced, or they may have some knowledge of one of these herbs, I invite you all to come up and share your information on the herbs. Because what it is that within our community, we all have information and knowledge that is very, very valuable to each and every one of us. But by us centralizing and thinking that this one great person who had this information, we devalue the information that each one of us has that are so valuable to each other. So all the healing remedies and the healing secrets are in our community. We as individuals possess that knowledge, but we're not communicating it to one another because we all looking to this one person, or this herbalist, or this healer. Well, we're all healers. We're still alive, so we didn't heal something, and we didn't heal some things, and we didn't make it through some healing situations because we all still on the planet. And I believe none of us are beyond sickness, and disease. None of us are beyond that. So all of us have had our share, and we have had our methods of solving them. So we feel that information needs to be circulated among us as a community of people, so that we can increase the quality of our lives as a community. So we need that information. It's very valuable. Like I said earlier, I saw one guy on the DVD. He was supposed to be an herbalist. He's breaking down different herbs, but he was going through a book. Jeffrey Coster's book, Back to Eden. He was just reading through the book, talking about this herb is good for this, this herb is good for that. And I said, that's interesting. You've been studying herbs and healing people for the last 20 years, but you got to keep referring to a book. You should really talk about what your knowledge is from your experience with helping people with herbs, or experiencing the herbs yourself. You see the point I'm making? Don't go off second knowledge. Because now we're losing the quality and the value of the information now. Because now we all going off what he said, and she said, and he said, and she said, and he said. And you look at one herbal book, they're referring to 20 other herbal books. And each of them 20 herbal books is referring to 20 other herbal books, and no one is talking about how to actually experience and utilize this information. Now, the nutritional guidebook, health healing book, the herbal guide, I'll grab a copy of that, just to give you all an example, is a book that talks about clinical usages of these different herbs. You look into it, it talks about clinical trials and tests that they did in laboratories using certain herbs. But even with that, you still got to go off on your own. Because this book wasn't written by one person. It was written by a compilation of people. So there's no way to really qualify the information without having some experiential knowledge, or some trustable individuals that we can deal with who had that knowledge. But that's one book that just talks about some experiments that have been done with herbs. So my point is that we all have very valuable information, like grandmama's home remedy with herbs. She had herbs for everything. I know my grandma did. She had little remedies that it may not sound like it was the best or made no sense, but a lot of times it worked. The little stuff that she had came up with. So we need that remedies and information, because now we're saving ourselves medical bills. We're saving ourselves long, long waits in emergency rooms. We're saving ourselves misdiagnosis. We're saving ourselves being germinated or catching germs in the hospital while we're waiting on a false diagnosis. We're saving ourselves these different issues by having some knowledge ourselves, some usable and some functional knowledge. So with these herbs, I want to just bring some functional knowledge to people. I want to bring some functional knowledge because I said, if we can't really help each other in a functional way and in a practical way to help simple solutions to the problems that we have in our community, and to provide some simple information to one another, we really not doing anything. No matter how revolutionary we are, no matter how spiritual we are, if we're not helping people solve simple problems in our community, we are not doing anything. We're just running our mouths. And And I was talking about earlier how you go to some people who claim to know herbs and get into Reiki and Qigong and all these healing practices. And you talk to them about the problems that you may have, and they go all off on the moon to you. They get to talking to you about different aliens. You just want to know the herb to deal with the situation. You know, you may be trying to heal your auntie, your grandmama, your mama, your child, and you go to these herbalists, and they talk to you everything but about a simple solution. They want to go all into melanin and into melanin, and they want to talk about diet. I understand diet, but at a certain point, you need immediate response herbology. You see the point of it? You need a very practical solution to the problem. You know what I'm saying? Nobody who has complete flaring up hemorrhoids is going to sit down and listen. I'm just going to keep it real. Y'all don't want to hear the real stuff. They're not going to sit down and listen to no discussion about no diet. They can barely sit down, feel me, and you're talking to them about diet. Now, no person who's been eating meat and rice and beans and chicken and ham hocks, and they come to you for healing, you're going to tell them they're going to have to change their diet. It's the worst thing they want to hear right now. You see what I mean? Even though that's the reality. Even though that's the reality. So these different herbs, we want to go through them because we want to be functional with our people. Give them some functional knowledge. First of all, you already know a lot about these herbs. And some of you know about herbs, some of you don't. I'm not going to give all of the uses of these herbs. These herbs have usages beyond that I know, beyond the herbal books that you read. No. They have uses far beyond this. You know, I'm just going to give you some of the uses that I have found to be quite effective. And a lot of these products that we have them, and we distribute them. You can get them from us if you want to. That's the easiest way. So we do have each of these products that I'll be listing. Not only do we wholesale them for donation, we also retail them for donation. So that means if somebody has a store, we can wholesale them for donations. If somebody wants to just get a product, we can sell them at donations. And whether you wholesale or retail, we can get you these products at a lower price than you get anywhere. And if you're trying them at a lower price than we do, all you gotta do is let us know, and we'll mark our price down to that price. If you find any price of getting these products lower than we offer, we'll lower our price. But my point is that we have all these different herbs for a donation, so we don't want to offer herbs that it's hard to get. Or you got to run to the health food store and get exploited at some rip-off price, some high markup. We want to make it easier for you to get the products that we're talking about. We want to make it easy and convenient. And also with these different herbs, a lot of herbs can have multi-uses, so you can pick the herbs that are available. You know, like when you say blood purifier, there might be 15 different blood purifiers. You can pick one of them. You ain't got to use all of them. But so many are mentioned to you so that you can get the ones that are most accessible. Because if you go and try to get a particular herb and they don't have it, then you got to get the next blood purifier or the next one. So that's why so many herbs are mentioned. Period. Now, the first herb we're going to start off with is the green tea. I'm sure y'all familiar with this green tea. You can't really drink too much tea. If you're drinking 1 cup of tea a day, you're not a tea drinker. Period. You're not a tea drinker. You can drink 5 to 8 glasses of tea a day and even more. In some places they drink tea and substitute for water. So don't be a 1 cup tea drinker talking about I drink tea. You know. And don't give up. Meaning that how people have a get up and give up attitude. They drink some green tea, which is good to fight depression, and it's good to give you some energy and get you motivated. They drink 1 cup and it's like, man, they did. I don't have energy no more. I'll make you another. Feel me? Get you some more tea. Get you some more tea. You see the point I'm making? It's a process. There's no ultimate point. See, they have sold us this concept of healing, where we just get to this point and we are healed. It doesn't exist. Health is a constant process of what you're putting into your body mentally, physically, spiritually. And what health is that process. Y'all hear the point I'm making? There's no point of healing where you are healed. There's no such thing. No one can ever heal you. But you can be involved in the process of healing. When you're drinking water, you're not going to be healed. You're always going to need water. But you're participating in the process of healing. You know what I mean? So we want to look at more of health as a process, not something that you achieve. Health is a behavior. Health is a behavior. Health is a discipline. And health is a process. There's no one drug or one medication that you ever gonna get and be healed. Let everybody get situated. So I want to expose some things. Now with this green tea, when you drink this, it's better to get it by the box. Don't go out and buy them energy drinks. Chinese have been getting energy from this green tea for over millions of years. Now they selling you an energy drink, Red Bull, Red Frog, Big Bear, Explosion, blow your mind up, and exhaustion. You know, these don't sound like stuff for the body. Fuel, gastro, petrofomine, gasoline. This is what they're giving you for your body. And the Chinese have been drinking green tea for years. Now when you buy tea, listen to this. You're getting 100 of these tea bags. This will last you. Them energy drinks are expensive, man. They're $2 a can. So if you drink 3 of them out today, you've already spent $6. Some of them who really working and trying to go 24 hours may drink up to 5 of them a day. Think about that. You spend $10 a day, and you might as well go get some crackers and weed. You know what I'm saying? But if you got this, for $3 you get 100 tea bags. Or for $10 you get 100 tea bags. This will last you for a whole month. So now you save money on these little fancy marketing companies that's trying to take your money. You see the point I'm making? And you're just drinking it the ancient way. And they don't have extra stuff in it. The caffeine and the this and all this type of extra stuff in there. It's going to blow you up and destroy your nervous system and get you addicted to it. We know that if they've been drinking this for 10 million years and they killed cancer and it's got all your antioxidants in it and there's nothing happening to them, then I think it's a trustable product. It's somebody coming up with an energy drink they didn't made up 24 hours ago or decided to put it on the market. Drink your green tea. Like I said, don't drink it and say, well, I'll drink 1 cup. It only worked. I was only had energy for a little while. But that's all you needed to do. What you need to do. Get you another cup. These Chinese, if you see them in some of the martial art movies, they're just turning up cups. Drink it up. Unless you have a give up mentality, nothing can heal you if you're ready to give up. Well, I tried this and it didn't really work. Try it again. You're closer to a solution. If you see what don't work, you're closer to what will work. If you're not about working, you're causing your mental and emotional problems. You don't want to make it work. You don't want to make it work. So this green tea is powerful. It's natural. It got all your antioxidants in it. You can drink as many cups. It's not going to have no diabetes. It's not going to have no side effects. And like I said, coffee. Get Bisha coffee because you ain't at the Starbucks spending $3 a cup. And you're not putting all those toxins. When you drink the coffee, for the little energy, you're putting all that black and brown stuff in your system. It's not all getting strained out. So where's all the residue from the coffee going to? That's going into your liver. That's going into your colon. That's turning into gallstones, bladder stones, kidney stones. So you're really messing yourself up. When you drink a cup of green tea, it's mostly composed of water. So you're hydrating the body, and you're running all this stuff right throughout your body. So put the coffee down. Get you some green tea. Drink it. You ain't got no honey, no sugar, you broke, you don't need no honey and sugar. Okay? It dehydrates you too. You don't need no sugar or no honey. If you have honey, that won't even add an extra touch of energy too. Because honey is good for energy, it preserves you too, and it creates a non-viral atmosphere in the body. Because honey is the only thing that lasts 1,000 years. And you don't need no preservative in it. If we set some honey here 1,000 years later, we can use the same honey. It doesn't decay, rot, and degrade. And so honey is a natural preservative. So no diseases or viruses can live in the honey. So whenever you add honey to something, you're now adding a natural preservative to it. You see the point I'm making? So you're creating that environment in the body when you ingest honey. You're creating a viral bacterial-free environment in your stomach when you drink the honey. And it preserves the teeth and it's good for quick energy. And if you mix it, you get you some green tea, get you a little ginseng, and boil it in your green tea. This will add you some extra energy to it.
That's right.
And add the honey to it. Now you got you a very powerful aphrodisiac where you can get your chakras lit up and get your kundalini going. Because we all running off of that energy. What you put in your body is what you get out. If you're not putting powerful energy, natural substances into your body, then you can wonder why you ain't got no energy.
It'd probably be better to just simply adding the honey to it, because the honey adds
It do,
because
you're
it's
right.
concentrated sweet.
You're right.
So you want to basically
If you can drink it by itself, that's best. Then you saving yourself some more money. Because honey is quite expensive too. So if you drink it as it is, good. If not, put you some honey in it. Certainly stay away from sugar. Brown sugar might not be as bad. Some sugar is good for you. Some sugar, I learned from the Earth Center, reading Dr. Naba's Healing Kitchen book. He was talking about how sugar, people eat lollipops because sugar takes stress off the body. Sugar is good for stress, not good for your teeth, but it's good for stress. It helps the body cope with stress. That's the purpose that sugar has in the body. Some sugar is not bad for quick energy, or, let's not be extreme left or extreme right. A little sugar won't kill you. Grandma been eating sugar for a long time. She's 90 years old. So come on. You're going to die if you eat that sugar. Come on. I suggest you don't eat the white sugar. Stay away from those sugars because that's diabetes and hypoglycemia and all those other type of things. If the body's producing too much insulin in the pancreas, and sugar can lead to some negative effects.
But that's
stay away from it.
That's more or less the
white sugar.
The white sugar.
Yeah,
the raw sugar is better. Because you're taking it straight out of the earth. Once you take it out of the earth, it's in chips, basically.
That's true.
So it's better for you.
Some sugar's good.
And all of those have like vitamins and stuff like that. All of that is in it. Once they, cook it and they graduate it, it turns into a drug.
It's teaching.
You know what I'm saying? So straight from the earth, raw sugar is good. Once they graduate it and all that.
It's like drinking razor blades. Now, these, just ginseng, is also good for the immune system. Good for energy. It's good for the clarity of the mind. It's good for strength. It's good for stamina. It's good for endurance. You got to get your ginseng in. Add it. Now, the female version of ginseng is done qua, because the ginseng, the women drink too much ginseng, and it makes their blood flow a little quicker. So they have larger administrations if they do too much of the ginseng. But a little blood don't hurt nothing. Don't let a large administration stop you getting your energy. You feel the point I'm making? Please, don't let it stop you. Blood ain't never hurt. If there ain't no blood in your body, you dead. So blood is a sign of health. Next, we had a licorice root. Now this has thousands of different properties to it. This licorice root right here. It's naturally antiviral, antibacterial. It's good, very good for the immune system, for colds, coughs, any type of viral type of infection that's in the body. Licorice root helps out. And it's a natural sweetener. If you drink this, it'll sweeten things up just a bit. Not as much as a honey would or a brown sugar would, but it definitely will provide some type of sweet taste for it. And this is natural raw licorice. And it's another good source of energy. And it's aphrodisiac for women and men. So it help you increase sexual energy and stamina. It's licorice. So definitely get a hold of your licorice. Now, another thing about the sexual energy and stamina is not to promote a sexual paradigm of reality, but that's the energy we're running on. Believe it or not, energy is energy. If you have energy in your body, you're going to be operating at a higher vibration, a higher frequency on every aspect of your being. So energy is energy. So get your energy out these licorice roots. You got some coughs, you got sore throats, anything of that nature. Don't be afraid to chew you the regular licorice root. You can brush your teeth with it. It's good for your teeth. It's good for halitosis. Don't give up your toothbrush though. But it definitely, you can scrape your teeth with this. You know what I'm saying? And keep your teeth clean. And it kills a lot of the viruses in the mouth. Conjunctivitis, different things like that. It's really good for the gums and different types of gum diseases and stuff like that. Get your licorice root. They used to make toothpaste out of this, actually, the Arabs. Filthy bastards. But let's get to the red clover. The red clover is good for the immune system. And all these herbs and teas you can get from us in bulk. We have all of them. You ain't got to go to the health food store and get robbed. Get stuck up. They just don't have no guns in them, but you get stuck up. You get these herbs right from us. We have them. This red clover is good for the relaxing the internal organs. Any stomach cramps or any stomach type issues, it's going to relax your internal organs. It's a mild laxative, so it helps the system move a little bit, not too much when you got diarrhea or something, where you're going to run off. It's not going to do that, but it will relax your internal system. And it's very good for the immune system, viruses and stuff like that, but you're not going to get an immediate effect. As if you dealt with some garlic, or you dealt with some olive leaf extract, or if you dealt with some oregano. You're not going to get an immediate effect out of this. Or the bark of the ark. Now, in some cases, the bark of the ark might help you with inflammation immediately. You see the point I'm making? In some cases, but not all the cases. If you have some inflammation, meaning some pain or some cyst or something in some area of your body that's causing pain in the stomach or something like that, normally the bark of the ark will knock the inflammation out. Not all the time. But your garlics, your oregano oil, your olive leaf will help right off the bat. Any type of viral infection, STDs, venereal diseases, any type of infection in the body, period. Get your olive leaf, get your oregano oil, and get your garlic. You might not just want to eat raw garlic. It's too much in the system. Get your garlic capsules. Get you some garlic capsules and see what milligrams is on it. If you're dealing with some type of viral disease or some type of venereal STDs, you need more milligrams. You start looking at 800 to 1,000 milligrams. And you can take as many to fit. You can see how it's working. You can take the herb and see how it's working. Something like olive leaf, you can take that every day. That's going to prevent garlic and olive leaf. You can take that every day. You should, as a matter of fact, in living in Babylon, you should take garlic leaf, and you should take garlic and olive leaf every day. Olive leaf fights all infection and prevents all diseases. All bacteria react. Viruses and fungus react to olive leaf. So if you take that, that's going to keep it down. That's going to keep you from getting it. That's like a preventative method. Take that every day. Take garlic every day. It's good for the cardiovascular system. It's good for energy, and it's good for the mind. It'll help increase your aggressive energy. Garlic will do that for you. Eat some raw garlic, you get fired up. And it also will increase your threshold for pain if you get wrong. And you need to increase your threshold for pain. Because sickness can take you down if your mind is not prepared for it. A little cold, a little flu, you out of there. But when you eat raw garlic, it stimulates the body to such a degree, it increases your capacity to deal with pain. Because if you can take that and ingest 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, it's really nothing you can't deal with. You see what I'm making? So your mind is not equipped to deal with any other things that you might do. Garlic will also bring down the fevers. And it's effective against most venereal, most diseases, most viruses. But the thing about it is, eat it raw sometimes, juice it up. If you can't, go out and buy the capsules. Sometimes this stuff is expensive. But if you can't buy it, get your garlic and put it in a blender with any of your fruits. And just blend the garlics in there. You can put 3 or 4 cloves of garlics in there. If you need to, you can juice it up in there. Or you can juice it. Add it to your carrot. No, you can add your carrot to it, you can add your parsley to it. But if you're really dealing with something viral or some type of infection, you really want to mostly get the capsules. That's because you can take more of it and get more of what's called the aniline, which is one of the strong properties of it. You get more of those properties from it, and you can take more without dealing with the burning of the garlic or the harshness of your digestion. If not, you can go with a garlic oil in the capsule, or you can go with the regular garlic. And nowadays, if you go to health food store, they got mixed in there. They got garlic with the other herbs in there. You can take as many of them, and now if you're dealing with some type of viral infection or something like that, and you take the olive leaf, you take more of it. You can take 1 to 2 of them, every 3 hours, or something like that. And you'll notice the difference. It works. And you will notice the difference in your body once you take ingesting these different herbs. Something like bark of the ark or red clover, somebody may got somebody to drink it, and they like, man, it didn't work. Because it stimulates your well-being over a large period of time. These herbs don't necessarily get right to an attack, but they help your immune system over large periods of time. They're whole herbs. Just like the Chinese mushrooms. Now, the maitake and the reishi, These mushrooms might not immediately cause a difference, but over a larger period of time, they're helping your immune system and your overall well-being. Now, these mushrooms, this is shiitake I have here. It's very good for the immune system. Maitake is what they use in China. It's another mushroom, I don't have it here displayed, it's to fight cancer. And for people with AIDS, they strictly prescribe the maitake by itself. They don't give out no ADT, none of that stuff. They just give them maitake mushrooms. And they even have different benefits. Do the research yourself. You can even pick it up. In this book right here, at another time, I will go through it and go in and show you all. But it's given, this is all that they prescribe for. And it mentions it in this nutritional book. In the book, they prescribe the maitake for tumors, cancer, all of it is good for the immune system. It's good for the body stress and things like that. So we want to deal with the mushrooms. But once again, those are whole herbs. So it's not going to work instantaneously. Some people say, well, herbs don't work. Well, you need to deal with the right herbs. They didn't teach you the reality of herbs. You may have to drink filled with red clover part of the art. You may gave them the ginseng in one of these little capsules. You gotta realize that people's body weight is different. So if you weigh 300 pounds, this little valve is not gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you weigh 500 pounds, you're gonna need to drink a half a box of this before you notice it's on. Don't give up on an herb. Lose weight. Feel what I'm making? So these herbs work, but people don't realize their own body chemistry. If you're a little bigger, you need to take more herb. But the Chinese didn't say that because the Chinaman is a very small man anyway. He's a midget. He drinks a half a capsule as he goes, on an average. But we're taller, we're a lot bigger, and our metabolism might be a lot quicker than the Chinese too. Because our stuff runs right through our body.
And the diet too.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're a vegetarian and whatnot, you will assimilate that with
Oh, absolutely.
the person you eat because that's this.
You teach them. Because then they got to go through all the bread, and chicken, ham, and beef, and all. They don't have it goes right into the bloodstream. Because if you got toxic blood, how these herbs really don't get to the bloodstream where they work. Now, making it quicker, all these herbs we have, all the major herbs we have, get them from us. If you need them, we blend the teas up into different fashions for you. You can get loose herbs, you can study herbs, you probably have them. We got connects with the Chinese, so they give us herbs at a very reasonable price, so that we can offer them to our own people at a very available number. But health is wealth. If you ain't got no health, you do not have no wealth. Health should be at least 60% of your day. That's why I said I wish I could move up in Whole Foods. Put me in bed right there and just wake up, open up a Herbal. Because that is, health is your study should be 60% health. Not 50% the club and 40% TV and 30% GCI.
Right.
You know, you should really think and consider your health, not just because of yourself, but because of the community of people. You know, our family members and relatives get sick, and you're like, man, that's terrible. Well, you didn't study nothing to help. You was not prepared to deal with the challenges and the situations that are going to befall humanity. Humanity is going to have challenges to befall them. Don't go living like this is a very competent world. There will be challenges for all of us to deal with. And either we're becoming more and more efficient to be prepared to deal with them challenges, or we live in an illusion that we will have to then depend on the great white man to bail us out. If we can't heal ourselves, then we need white. Master, what you got for us? He's a sick boss. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be waiting in the emergency room because you have not emerged to see the divinity of who you are. You see that one, man? When you didn't get you to the emergency see which is vitamin C. You know what I'm saying? To strengthen your immune system and get you at least 500 milligrams of them a day. Vitamin C. It's very powerful against many infections. Very good for the immune system. You can get you up to 2,500 milligrams of using vitamin C to fight off anything. But you got to start off small because your system has to get used to intaking the vitamin C. Because otherwise, you'll have diarrhea and run right through you. So you have to increase your milligrams over a certain period of time. Maybe 2 weeks. You get yourself up to a large amount of milligrams a day. Now you also can try these herbs in different forms. I have to talk about this today. Like people talk about the yellow dock and the burdock root being powerful purifiers. They are, but I'm going to tell you this. You're not going to drink no yellow dock every day. You're not going to drink no 6 cups of yellow dock. It's very bitter. The burdock root is. They are very, very bitter teas. So when a herb is bitter, know you have the option of a tincture. Like black walnut kills parasites, fights fungus, is good for detoxifying the body, and it's good to take over a certain period of time. It's good to take that herb. But you might not want to drink no black walnut because it doesn't taste that good. We're all humans. You're only going to drink so much bitter stuff that you're going to be like, I can't drink no more of that. It's just the bottom line. I don't care how much master you are, you're going to be like, I had enough of that. I'd rather die. I'm just joking. But I'm just saying, for herbs like that, they're not going to tell you this. They're not going to give you this information. For herbs like that, just get a tincture. That way, all it requires is if you can go grab me one. Grab some black. The black will look for it. Right. Grab some black. Thank you. Okay, these tinctures. Make yourself something. If the herb is bitter, you can just find it in a tincture. And you can also make tinctures yourself. By getting pure grain alcohol and soaking the herbs over a certain period of time. You might want to get your herb book to read the specifics on how to do that way and break it down for you, but you can make your own tinctures or just happen to loose herbs. And also, you can make your own powdered herbs. If you ain't got time to make a tincture and you don't want to drink all that tea, you make a powdered herb. All you do is take these leaves, put them in your blender, and chop these boys up. Only leaves though. Some roots you can do if you got a real good blender, really powdered. Or a coffee grinder. Yeah. Right. That way the herbs become a powder. You just take the powder, put that into your water and stir it in. Only you don't want to go beyond a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons to a cup of water. But you can powder them up and make your own herbs. But you want to do that more so with the leaves and some roots you can do. Do more research on that. But certainly if the herb is too strong or too bitter, that's a faster way to ingest the herbs. And you can experiment with the herbs yourself. Normally, we only suggest safe herbs. Like something like golden seal, you don't want to do that herb over 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks period of time. Or an herb like colloidal silver, you don't want to do that herb over 10 days. But most of the other herbs you can do. Now licorice, you don't want to do a lot of that because it can speed up the heart and it can also increase the blood pressure probably a little bit if you drink. You got high blood pressure, you probably want to stay away from the Panax ginseng or Korean. If you got high blood pressure, you probably want to mess with the Siberian ginseng or go with maybe an American ginseng or something a little bit more lighter. But most of these herbs are safe. You can drink them in large quantities, the one that we mentioned. We stay away from the poisonous herbs. Some herbs are poisonous that people still drink. Blue flag and blue cohosh and even chapero, which could be, chapero could be quite poisonous to some degree according to researchers. Some people still mess with those herbs, but I think since you have so many options of herbs that you can deal with, you don't really have to deal with the poisonous herbs. You don't really have to take it. You don't have to risk it because it's so many herbs. So most of the herbs we mentioned, but now the herbs like golden seal, you want to switch antibiotic type herbs because your body gets used to it. You say, oh, they're not really working. Just switch them up, rotate. Rotate from echinacea, golden seal together, split them up. Echinacea for a week, we golden seal. Just switch the herbs up like that. If somebody has a fever, get your catnip out. get your peppermint, get your fenugreek, get your feverfew, or get your raw garlic. These will bring down fevers. You gotta know how to bring down fever if you want to, because you go to the hospital, you're in the waiting room. That's it. If y'all saw that Sicko DVD that Michael Moore put together, somebody died in the waiting room. Waiting on a doctor to come to the child. So y'all gotta bring down fevers. That should be basic knowledge. Speaking of CPR, how to bring a fever down. That's your garlic. Once again, your catnip, your peppermint, any of your mint teas. And you can make a mint tea of a very, very strong concoction. People don't know that you can make a mint tea for insanity. If people's nervous system is really wired out, and they really afraid, make them a strong peppermint tea. As strong as you can get it. You can put 4 or 5 bags in there. That peppermint will get in there and kind of cool and relax the system to bring the mind at ease. And if you have to, then you go mixing other herbs in there. You might want to add a little valerian root to it. Or you might want to, add a little chamomile. You might want to add some catnip. You can even add red clover to it. You can also add any of your relaxing teas. But normally alone, peppermint alone will do it. Peppermint will do it. Peppermint with some flavor. Now you also can get lemongrass, which I don't have here, but I do have. And you can mix your lemongrass, which is kind of like an uplifting tea. Mix that in with your green tea, with your ginseng. Put you some fresh goji berries in there. Or you some cranberries in there for your urinary tract, for the prostrate, and all that type of stuff. You can get really creative with these herbs. One thing we don't want to do is we don't want to mix the sedatives, and people make these mistakes, with the energizers. That's what we don't want to do. A lot of people go wild with that. For example, red clover is a sedative. I'm not going to mix no red clover with no green tea. This is going to relax you. It's going to energize you. Now, normally when you do that, you cancel both of them. Now, if you use a strong relaxant and a strong sedative, you turn it into a narcotic. If you take something like some chamomile and mix it with some gotu kola, you see the point I'm making? Or you take something like some catnip and then mix it with some ginseng and some ginkgo biloba. Now it's going to become a hallucinogenic. It's going to become a narcotic. And these drugs have narcotic effects. One herb that you can mix with anything is your licorice root. You can mix that with about anything, and it increases the strength of most of the herbs. It's an energy herb, but you can mix it with a relaxing tea too. And it will just do nothing but sweeten. And if you want to drink these teas like red clover, because most of your healing teas that are really healing have the relaxing effect. But if you don't want to be laid back, but you know you need to be drinking your red clover, you throw the licorice in there with it. So then you don't gotta be all asleep because you're drinking, set of herbs. You can have it quick up with your relaxing tea with licorice root. That's the only herb you can mix with any tea. Another herb you can mix with anything is peppermint. You can mix peppermint with anything. And peppermint has both effects. If you're tired, it will relax you. And if you want energy, it can energize you. It's the only tea that is both a stimulant and a relaxant. It relaxes you and it stimulates you. So that's really a powerful herb. So peppermint is a powerful herb for relaxing the system and purifying the body. Now, certain herbs, because peppermint is also an antiseptic too. It's not one of your most powerful antiseptics, but it has antiseptic properties too. And it's a natural pain reliever. It relieves pain in the organs, and used externally, it can also relieve pain. So I just want to go to a few herbs to solve some problems that we deal with as a community with herbs. We need to know these herbs and how they work for us. We need to have some knowledge in healing ourselves so we can stop depending on these Europeans. And if you all come up with information and you all healed yourself with anything, give that information up. Share that information. Because like I was saying earlier, we're all masters. Because we're all healers because we're still alive and we made it through healing trauma, each and every one of us. So we're healers. So we have to get that information out so that we can help other people. Not all just centralized thinking that this one person is a master healer or this one person is not. Because these persons are researching herbs. You've healed yourself with this or healed yourself with that. So you know about this, that, and that. Now you might not know about everything. Lupus, gout, rheumatism, arthritis. You might not be able to heal everything, but you do know the herbs that you have used to heal yourself. That information needs to come out like the freedom of information. You know, as a community, you can say, well, this is how they deal with that. You know, for example, Fenna having a home birth. Now she's an expert on home birth. She can get any information on that because she's actually done it. She's experimented with herbs. She's went through the whole process. So she can give you more information than somebody who just sat down and read a midwife. Do you understand the point of that? And each of us have our stories and our experiences. Nobody got all the knowledge because nobody went through every situation, every complex circumstance. So each one of us must realize how valuable we are with the information that we have. Until we start realizing that, we're not going to change. Because we all looking to this one person or this one herbalist. He's the healer. You don't realize you're the healer. You know what I'm saying? You're still here. You've been healing something. We didn't have viruses and death-defying flus. I didn't have flus, but I was glad to be alive after I got cancer. Seriously, I was thankful for life. I had a second chance in life. Like, I'm going to do it right now. Father, forgive me, for I know I'm not what I did to get down. You feel what I'm saying? So we have all made it through our trying situations, and we need to share that information with others. We're being so prideful to not want to hear how we can help each other. You understand? But if the white man said, we silent. Okay, what do you say? I need 4 prescriptions of that. What time? Wait, I'm going to make sure I heard you now. Wait. How many I need to take this and go to what brother? We listen to them. We're coming to each other. Brother, you know shit.
That's real.
You could possibly.
That's real.
You could possibly have it. I want to talk about the incense. People buy this incense just like it's just an accessory item. Or it just smells good or just something to do. I'll get these incense. They don't realize the profound power of this incense. This incense is the most natural form of psychotropic medication that you can ever be prescribed. If you all saw psychiatry industry to death, you know the psychiatry industry ain't no nothing. They never prescribe prescriptions that never heal anybody of anything. And they'll tell you that this incense, if you burn certain incense, you create a peaceful state of mind. And if you do research and you find out how you was feeling one day and what incense that you burned, you'll be surprised at how much the positive atmosphere you created is relative to your state of being. This incense is powerful. Now, frankincense and myrrh, this incense are highly offered to people. That is one of the most powerful incense that you can burn. It promotes clarity of mind, and it's such a thick scent, it slows down your breathing. So when it changes your breathing, that's what puts you in a state of peace. That's what makes incense so powerful. You change your breathing. Because if you notice anybody's state, if they're mad or they have an anxiety attack, it's all in the breathing. You know, it's all the out of control breath first. So when you light incense, you're inducing the body into a different breath. So because you can't smell it and be breathing quickly at the same time, it makes you stop to breathe. And that change in breath recalms and recenters your nervous system. So that's what makes incense such a powerful relaxer. Not the stuff you buy in the Arab store. Not the stuff that you would buy from the little dollar store. But I mean some real actual incense. It really helps create a peaceful environment. A lot of times we think, and I got to deal with emotional psychology to really deal with the subject. A lot of times we get mad, and we get upset, and we get frustrated, not realizing that it's our environment. That insanity is an allergic reaction. You see what I mean? A state of confusion is an allergic reaction. Because divinely, we are at peace. We are in harmony anyway. Harmony is our true state of being. So when we're acting all obnoxious and out of control, we have an allergic reaction to our environment. Incense is a way to control the environment. You burn certain fragrances that changes your breathing. Now you create a peaceful environment where you really can achieve higher spiritual states within your being. Frankincense and myrrh are the most powerfulest, and it's also an antiseptic and antibiotic for the air. Frankincense purifies the air. You can ingest frankincense and myrrh in yourself, and it fights infections, and it also will relax you if you ingest myrrh internally. Frankincense is a natural painkiller. Internally, emotionally, frankincense is a natural thing. Listen, frankincense is a natural cleanser and myrrh, externally as well as internally. You burn this, that's why the Catholic priest burns the frankincense when they doing their cereals. The Tibetans burn frankincense. It was good for it. They used it as a cure for insanity within their community. Frankincense is being burned everywhere. It's a purifying scent. The Nazis in the concentration camp burned frankincense to keep down the odor of the dead bodies that they had. And also to keep the soldiers sane in such a terrible environment that they created. You see what I mean? Because a lot of their soldiers was losing their minds. They don't give you that information. They just tell you that these superhuman warriors inflicted pain on their victims. Not telling you that half of them was losing their minds because of what they experienced in the concentration camps. And they was burning that frankincense and myrrh. So you can burn frankincense and myrrh. But people are not going to get into this stuff if they victims. Because a victim-minded person has a right to be bad, not realizing that they're in a biologically induced state. Insanity is your lack of response to your own self. That's all it is. It's your lack of responding to your own being. So you get out of control. You really go off into the full matrix. You see the point I'm making? That's all it is. You just ran amok in the matrix. But when you come out of victim consciousness and say that it's not all out here, I can induce a state of harmony and peace through my behavior and my discipline and what I do on a daily basis. Peace is within my hands to control. Think about that. So now you're not arguing and mad at somebody, thinking that you're mad, you're so self-righteous. Oh, I have a right to be mad. No, you're not. What you're mad about is doing more harm to you than it is doing to you're mad at. So change that state. Create an environment to run that demon out, cast out that demon within you that is so close-minded that they want to wallow in a negative reality. Cast that demon out. So you no longer become a victim. You now know at your fingertips, our life's consistent. Ain't that powerful? I'm not going to get mad about what I thought I should be mad about because they told me it was bad and she should have did that shit and he should have did that shit and now I can't believe these and my mama and I can't tell this person. Don't get into that. Get you some instance. You feel me? None of that shit is real. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you think somebody did to you or didn't do and this, that, and the other, it is not real. None of it. Even though we get attached to it and we build an ego and an identity out of it and it feels so good being mad and running off this stuff, killing it. It feels good to be totally in a toxic state. People think that the only way to get intoxicated is to drink alcohol. No, you can become intoxic by your own thoughts. You feel what I'm making? Now your whole body is filled with toxic emotions. You are intoxicated. You're not even functioning properly and out of your right mind because you're intoxicated. So my point is, don't get high off your own supply. Don't intoxicate yourself. Don't become inwardly toxic. That's what all intoxicated is. Light you some incense and create a peaceful environment for yourself. Other people come in your house, light incense. Don't just depend on them. I'm going to tell you something positive and you're going to listen to me. Disarm them. Get your incense lit. So when they come in there, like, what is that? You can sit and argue with them and tell them about this conscious reality, or you can light some of the most powerful incense and induce them into a state of light. Oh no, I just feel so happy. I was mad at before I came. Right. Maybe because I'm lighting a half a bundle of motherfucking incense. That might have something to do with it. You better want to make it? Maybe that's why you feel so. You think it's all the incense I'm lighting? It might have something to do with that meditation music. Right. Maybe that's why. So my point is to induce the state of enlightenment within our environment without even depending on other people to handle, especially in relationships. We want to be so righteous to tell other people what they should or should not be doing, or how they should get what it is we got to say. I know you feel me? We stuck on that instead of just creating an environment of peace. In a state of peace. You really need incense in relationships. You burn the right incense, you can put an argument to the end. Arguing in your relationships, like you said. What was you arguing about, baby? I don't know. After you lit that incense, I forgot. Because you realize that a lot of the negative thoughts that you think are so real are attached to your internal state of being. It's not real. You're right. They go on a bad trip. But these chemicals are already in our bodies. The drug just activates the chemicals. So you can become a drug addict on your own. You get addicted to being mad. I'm feeling I need a fix. Come here. Why did you blah, 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 blah? Now that adrenaline, the same chemical that a person is using when they're smoking some cocaine, you high off that right now. That's what you're running off. Your adrenaline is rushing, you feel amped up, and your ego is going, yes, I'm right. Y'all feel running on that. I'm saying these are all chemically induced states, and we're getting high off ourselves. We're not controlling our intake of drugs within our body. We're running wild on internal substances. Like you get happy, you run wild off of that. I'm happy. See the one making? And then you get mad, you're running off of that. So you just run off these different chemicals from one to the other. What drug is going on now? Anger? Okay. What drug? You're going into your chemical system. Your nervous system is saying, what drug is available right now? Anger. What drug is available right now? Happiness. What's just wrong? It's excitement. So my point is that we can now stop being victims and create victims. Start lighting incense and involving in spiritual practices where we can create peaceful and harmonious environments for ourselves. That's the point that I'm making. That's why you see the Buddhists burning the incense and you drinking all the tea. Hindus are burning all the incense. Why are they doing it? Why do these spiritual practices burn all this incense and stuff like that? If it's just about your doctrine, you don't need the incense. You enlightened, right? But you see them in there, go light up incense. Even in the Hindu temple, when I go up there, I said, don't light no incense, man. Just have spiritual stuff. No, I don't like the incense. Because they know. You have to create a spiritual environment. Because we don't realize a lot of times spirituality is environment. You know, we think that we're spiritual. But we're spiritual because the environment allows us. See, you all right now are in the environment we judge spirituality. But if we're around some monsters, we don't need an environment to be with us. We can't truly be spiritual in those environments. We now got to think so. The environment plays a role in your spirituality. But they want you to think, oh, it's just a doctrine. No, it's because all these conscious people you can associate with and stay out the matrix. You understand? Making it with your mind. That plays a role. But they don't make it multidimensional. It's just you chant this and it's not. It's the chanting, it's the food, it's the people, it's the incense, it's the music, it's the whole multidimensional reality that allows that spiritual state. If a yogi goes off into the mountains by himself, he's not spiritual anymore. He's just a man sitting out in the forest. Only in an environment can he really be spiritual. You see what I'm saying? Spirituality has no definition outside of the contextual framework of associating. You understand? Like spirituality is a social reality. You don't know nobody's there. You go and be by yourself, dude, that's beyond spiritual. But tell me, why do all the yogis always come back and write the books? I meditated for 50 years. Why do you come back? You achieve enlightenment. Why do you write the book? Because spirituality is social. It's connected to your humanitarianism and your relationship and your concern for the enlightenment of humanity. That's spirituality. If you're not concerned about the enlightenment of humanity, you are not spiritual. You're just selfish. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, it's a big difference. Your spirituality is going to lead you to becoming more humanitarian, more care for other people. Because if you realize that you're one with the all and you're one with the divine, how could you not care about all that is one and all that is divine? You couldn't possibly not. So your spirituality takes you less off this isolated, egotistical, holographic projection of you, unless you see the omnidimensional, omnipresent, multi-dimensional, omnipotent version of yourself. So that is what spiritual enlightenment should lead you to. Not just money. It should lead you to a sense of overall prosperity in health, mind, body, soul, spirit, and everything. But that's what I just wanted to talk about a little bit about the earth, because I think that spirituality is very practical. And I believe that it's been taught in the most practical way. You know, people have been teaching us this is something that just jumped into you. It didn't jump into you. It took an environment to cultivate spirituality. It never just jumped in nobody. It's a product of a lifestyle of behavior and discipline for everyone. So when we make it so mystical, you know, the angel came to me and told me, you know, angel told you that you had a good cup of tea. You smoking good stuff that day. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it. But we so spiritual that we cannot physically connect. We're not relating the spiritual to the physical. But it's saying, as above, so is below, as within, as without. This is what the Hermetic principles teach.
That's it.
If the Hermetic principles teach, so is within, so is without, how is your spirituality not going to have a physical equivalent?
Right.
If you become eternally spiritual, then that spiritual must add up to an act in the physical world. I'm spiritual. I don't care about people. I'm spiritual. You're right. Spiritual people do something. Every being creates doing, and every doing creates having. You be, do, and have. That's the way it works. So that's what I want to touch on. Spirituality is multidimensional. Get your herbs, your teas, and start now to step off into a multidimensional spiritual experience. That's not being one-track minded. It's a holistic process. And we want to make sure with the information that we're getting, that we're sharing that whole process with other people. That's our goal with the herbs and with the teas and with the incense. It's a multi-dimensional perspective. And it's a conscious thing. You're not, if people keep thinking that they're spiritual by accident, they can become unspiritual by accident. You know what I'm saying? People thinking, I just woke up and the morning was in joy. I'm spiritual this week. Then you can be unspiritual by accident. But if you're spiritual on consciously and spiritual on purpose, then you have no other excuse from that point on to be other than spiritual. You understand what I'm making? People really think they really just all of a sudden woke up and I was spiritual one day. Said, when did you become spiritual? When I decided I was going to stay on the planet Earth. Nowadays, to survive in Babylon, in America, KKK, you have to be spiritual. Especially in the urban, biological, social warfare. You have no choice to be spiritual. Either you're going to become spiritual or you're going to become a colonialized. You have no choice. Either you're going to become a robot, you give up your mind and your inner self, or you're going to become a true spiritual being. There's no black or white. There's no middle line. It's the black is the white. If you're going to join corporate America and get with the corpses, the corporations, and be among the dead, the night of the living dead, or you're going to become a spiritual being and access your spiritual aspect of yourself. You can't draw the line. You see people bipolar and schizophrenia and all this because they're trying to be on both sides of the table. I'm corporate this moment, I'm spiritual this moment. You're not. You're a damn fool. You're playing with your own psychology and with your own mentality. You cannot be both. You're either one or you're the other. And time is going to show you that. Time is going to, truth comes out in time. You're going to be like, man, you're going to come to a point where you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to be really spiritual? Or are you going to be really corporate? To my point, there is no, you can't do both of them. Now, just because you have money doesn't make you corporate. You should attract wealth. Both has existed before capitalism. Y'all know what I'm saying? Wealth has nothing to do with capitalism.
Right.
Capitalism is a system of exploitation of the labor of the people for the greed. Wealth is something that all beings who have a harmonious and natural relationship to the universe should have. Because if you're in tune with the universal laws, and you know the spiritual laws, and you're spiritual, then you know how to work them to manifest prosperity in your life. If you do not know how to do that, then you are not spiritual. We can humble ourselves and then become spiritual. So I ask people, where is their faith at? You know, when they say that, you know, we're spiritual, we believe in God and Jesus. And I say, well, where is your real faith at? Where is it at? If you're so spiritual and you have all spiritual power, well, let's change the condition of your life. But not right now. Something about it right now. In one conversation, they're so spiritual, the next one, I don't know if you can do that. Wait a minute now. Isn't Allah backing you? Or Jesus backing you? Or Krishna or Buddha? One of the marks?
Right.
Where you niggas at, man? How could you say in one breath that you believe in God, Jesus, For love what? But you're telling me in the next moment you're broken down and vulnerable and weak and can't wait to get back to the great white man. Well, brother, we just can't do that. What are you talking about? I thought we were gods and deities and all that. Do you really believe that? And of course you should go beyond belief. Belief is this first step. Belief is what man thinks to be true. Faith is what man knows to be true. And fruition is man the truth himself. So you should go beyond belief. Being a lie to yourself, not willing to show and prove. You should need to go beyond that. But they don't even at a level of belief. If you really believe that the spiritual power is backing you and you're good with the man upstairs, where's the manifestation? Why is he not putting all that power behind you to change the condition of our people? Either one that is false or you do not care about the people. Because if you had the creator backing you with all this energy, sitting up in the clouds, making things move and rotate, what would you do with it? Would you sit at the crib talking about, no, brother, the white man, wait a minute. You're backed by Jesus. Jesus is not changing us, can't help you change the community. But the gangbangers, but wait a minute, that Jesus is with you, ain't he? Hallelujah. Hear that? No, we can't do that because the drugs, they got guns, and we don't get involved in that. Wait a minute. What about Jesus? What about that? So my point is, we got to come out in clouds. We got to come out the sky to really maximize what our real power is. And we're so spiritual, we're not going to know. If I break a bone, I'm not going to no break expert. My bone is broken. I'm sorry. You better snap some bones in place. Right. And wrap that up. You over me doing this like, and I'm going to take my other arm and smack you with it. You hear what I'm saying? I got a broken arm in 4 places. You standing over me. I'm loving to do a martial art move with my other hand and break yours. So at least we have a broken hand together. Listen now what I'm saying. We have to get away from this charlatans and people, and we have to challenge them to be on their square. Challenge them to become real scientists, real sociologists. Because if we don't challenge them to do it, they ain't going to do it. They're not going to. We just keep accepting the mystery without breaking through that. And setting the record straight, as I quote Dr. Sebi. If we don't set the record straight in a situation, how people are going to, like Malcolm X said, constantly evaluate our right. So we got to crack through that and show people the reality of an alternative to white supremacy. Not just something where you can try, but an efficient and working alternative. You see what I mean? No, well, just try this, try that. I'm not trying nothing. If I was going to try something, I'll be on camera. I'm not into trying things. Do it work or do it don't? I really don't know. Thank you for your honesty. You see what I'm making? But we let people go with these cartoon fantasy realities. We don't get that time. So that's my point. Let's now start looking at the reality now. Some people say, no, but we can do Tai Chi to heal it. To heal what? If both of your legs broke, I wouldn't suggest you use Tai Chi to heal it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get up and do no Tai Chi in the morning if you broke both your legs. Tai Chi heals everything. Now you... Oh! Oh! Y'all hear the one that I'm making? And I hate to be funny about it, but I'm just saying our people just aren't thinking. We come from being religious in Christianity to being religious in spiritualism. And we don't think anymore. Just the one drink noni juice. My grandmama dead. Can I give her some noni juice to get her back up? Then I'll buy it. Then I'll push it. What, this noni juice work? Come on, brother, down to the emergency room with me. We can heal everybody. No, brother, I got some more plans. You hear the point I'm making? We're playing games. Noni will heal everything. Drink this noni. Well, let's go to the emergency room right now. We heal them, brother. We heal all of them. They only have to get seen. Right. Brother, I'm see, you know, they got the money for it. See, you want them to have money because you know it don't work. money is a distraction from the fact that this shit don't work. If I had known the juice and I knew it healed people with cancer, I'd be out pouring it out on the busiest corner of the city.
Right.
I'd be pouring it out. I'd invest all my money into it and start healing people, but they know it's not true. They ask you to believe in the mystery. Only will heal you. And they should call it none. Because it ain't healed another person out of it. You know what I'm saying? So we need to stop looking for this super wonder drug, super wonder religion, super wonder being, and let's deal with the reality. And that's why I said healing is a process. Nobody can heal you or anybody. Healing is a behavior, it is a discipline, it is a mind state, and it is a willingness to move forward regardless of circumstances. That is the process of healing. And when you stop doing that, I don't care what herb or drug or medicine you have, it's over for you. You see what I mean? Because the healing is a process. Nutritional process, emotional process, psychological process, and all those go into effect. You can have the best herbs in the world, but if you ain't gonna exercise and get up off your behind, you understand what I'm saying? You're the problem. The disease is you won't get up your behind. What can heal you with that? You understand what I'm saying? What can heal you for not having a drive and a motivation to overcome the obstacles that exist in your life? What can heal a man of that besides himself and the realization of who he or she is? They don't want to tell you that because they want you depending on them while you sitting on the couch and just send your money in. Don't realize that you ain't got off the couch. You feel me?
Right.
So we have to realize who we are to get past these con artists so we can maximize our potential. Stop looking to these one beings. See this being had it, this being had it. Everybody got some of it. And everybody got a piece. And everybody's willing to give up that piece. And some people are not. We gotta get some people who want to give up those pieces. And put them together and we have it. We're not have people that's just talking, trying to get your money. Give me $30 an hour. Give me $50 an hour. They just want their money. They can ask you, do you have money? They care about healing. They won't at least ask you first, do you have money? See what I mean? They won't even ask you that. It's $120 an hour. Well, I guess I don't have the money. We just need herbs ourselves.
Right.
So if we buy the herbs in our economy, everybody has what everybody needs. So that shows that we're above the charlatanism that people are trying to, promote on here. We're giving, once again, we're giving these herbs out without people to make a donation. Last herb before I go any further is astragalus. Herb feels what he means. It's also good energy too. Astragalus herb. Good for inflammation too. And it can be taken over a longer, darker period of time. You can get it in the tea or you can get the raw herb. This herb is excellent for you. What else do we have? I believe that's it. And olive leaf going through some of the major ones. And I'm going to keep going through herbs shortly. Every week we'll introduce some herbs. And then if anybody has any problems, let's write it down and research it. And see how we can solve the problem that people actually have. So, okay, this herb and that herb. Do research. And when the more efficient we get in providing services, the more wealth we will attract people. Because we're efficient. If you serve somebody as a con artist, you only get to serve it once. But if you serve somebody as a true service, you get to serve it once. That's the reality. So that's becoming efficient servers before we become even business people. Business is second, service is first. Before love and care and concern for our people. That's going to end my area on herb. If anybody want to add anything, you can. Brother, did you have to add something?
Yes.
Come on with it. Because I'm concluding this part on herb. So.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add, let food be your medicine. For every ailment that you have, you probably incurred it on your own through your eating habits. And a lot of people say different diseases are hereditary, but 9 times out of 10, it's really not true. So you just want to, your parasites in your body really want to clear that sugar and meat. It's all processed. So I would just say to all of you, maybe add more fiber to your diet, change from white rice to brown rice, white bread to wheat bread, try to cut out the sugar, and just really need to live. Add more fruits to your diet, more water, and we can all just take control of our lives and live as long as we want to. Versus dying at 50 or being decrepit and not being able to take care of yourself. We really can need to live.
Fruits, vegetables, and water.
Right.
That's it.
Come on up here.
No, I know me, I know.
Right. But every week I'm going to try to, I'm not going to try to, I'm going to connect and deal with people and get more information. Come on, you got something else?
Yeah, that's what guys. So basically, your medicine cabinet is actually your kitchen cabinet and your refrigerator. So I just wanted to share some rules on high blood pressure. One thing that really helps is vitamin K that great young vegetables and Brussels sprouts, also garlic and onion actually help take the plaque out of the walls of your veins and your arteries, and also olive oil is really good. And then also goji berries, it's said to increase your eyesight. So what you do with goji berries, you can steep them in your tea, you can add them to your soup, or put them in your smoothies every day for your eyesight and also for the digestion. And this is something that we make their own vitamins and minerals. It's really cool.
And once again, any of them herbs, you don't have to go to your European and get ill here. We do have all of those herbs. The goji berries and the green tea, and we have them large enough one to share them. So just come on with it. They should be there. Back to this book. Master. It says that the beginning of freedom from the pain body lies first of all in the realization that you have a pain body. Then more important, in your ability to stay present enough, alert enough to notice the pain body in yourself as a heavy influx of negative emotions when it becomes active. When it is recognized, it can no longer pretend to be you and live and renew itself through you. So what it was talking about earlier is a pain body. It's this part of the body is activated and reacts and is quick to become negative because of stuff in the past that is holding on to as attachment. And this just comes on when people who are egotistical think that that is them. But when you become aware of it, that it is not you, then you no longer react to it anymore. And that energy dies out. Now you have the right approach to life, the right response to life. But it takes time, over a period of time, recognizing it, and eventually we become better at dealing with it. And we don't even get know we know that's the part of us that it is, and that is not us. So we're not no longer identifying with the thoughts and the mindset of that energy.
Right.
And it gets better, because I've noticed, looking at myself, how I move with just about being aware of it. You know, that's not you. When you hear it going on within yourself, you sit there and you actually respond. I'm not even on that. You know that it's something other than yourself. Some people get upset and get mad. Like I said earlier, they think that's actually them. And not some reactionary part of themselves that wants to go off and fire off. You know, or some seasonal aspect of their personality. It is real enough to play this out.
Right.
And knowing that if it really was up to them, they would use their better judgment and life. And they wouldn't even act out. So, it is your conscious presence that breaks the identification with the pain body. When you don't identify with it, the pain body can no longer control your thinking, and so cannot renew itself anymore by feeding on your thoughts. The pain body in most cases does not dissolve immediately, but once you have severed the link between it and your thinking, the pain body begins to lose energy. Your thinking ceases to be clouded by emotion. Your present perception are no longer distorted by the past. The energy that was trapped in the pain body then changes its vibrational frequency and is transmuted into presence. In this way, the pain body becomes fuel for consciousness. This is why many of the wisest, most enlightened men and women on our planet once had heavy pain bodies. Regardless of what you say or what you do or what face you show to the world, your mental and emotional state cannot be concealed. Every human being emanates an energy field that corresponds to his or her inner state, and most people can sense it. Although they may feel someone else's energy emanating only sublimely, that is to say, they don't know that they sense it, yet it determines to the large extent how they feel and react to that person. Some people are most clearly aware of it when they first meet someone, even before any words are exchanged. A little later, however, words take over the relationship, and with words comes roles that most people play. Attention then moves to the realm of mind, and the ability to sense the other person's energy field becomes greatly diminished. Nevertheless, it is still felt on an unconscious level. When you realize that pain body unconsciously seeks more pain, that is to say, they want something bad to happen, you will understand that many traffic accidents are caused by drivers whose pain bodies are active at the same time. When two drivers with active pain bodies arrive at an intersection at the same time, the likelihood of an accident is many times greater than under normal circumstances. Unconsciously, they both want accidents to happen. The role of a pain body in traffic accidents is most obvious in the phenomenon called road rage, when drivers become physically violent, often over a trivial matter, such as someone in front of them driving too slowly. Many acts of violence are committed by normal people who temporarily turn into maniacs. All over the world, at court proceedings, you hear the defense lawyer says, "This is totally out of character of the accused. I don't know what came over me." To my knowledge, in fact, he didn't do it. His pain body did. Does this mean that people are not responsible for what they do when possessed by their pain body? My answer is, how can they be? How can you be responsible when you are unconscious? When you don't know what you are doing? However, in the greater scheme of things, human beings are meant to evolve into conscious beings. And those who don't will suffer the consequences of their unconsciousness. They are out of alignment with the evolutionary impulse of the universe. And even that is only relatively true. From a higher perspective, it's not possible to be out of alignment with the evolution of the universe. And even human unconsciousness and the suffering it generates is part of the evolution. But when you can't stand the endless cycle of suffering anymore, you begin to awaken. So the pain body too has its necessary place in the larger picture. Presence. A woman in her 30s came to see me. As she greeted me, I could sense the pain behind her polite and superficial smile. She started telling me her story, and within 1 second, her smile changed into a grimace of pain. Then she began to sob uncontrollably. She said she felt lonely and unfulfilled. There was much anger and sadness. As a child, she had been abused by a physical, violent father. I saw quickly that her pain was not caused by her present life circumstances, but by an extraordinary heavy pain body. Her pain body had become the filter through which she viewed her life situations. She was not yet able to see the link between emotional pain and her thoughts being completely identified with both. She could not yet see that she was feeding the pain body with her thoughts. In other words, she lived with the burden of a deeply unhappy self. At some level, however, she must have realized that her pain originated within herself, that she was a burden to herself. She was ready to awaken, and this is why she had come to me. I directed the focus of her attention to what she was feeling inside her body and asked her to sense the emotions directly instead of through the filter of her unhappy thoughts, her unhappy story. She said she had come expecting me to show her a way out of unhappiness, not into it. Reluctantly, however, she did what I asked her to do. Tears were rolling down her face, her whole body was shaking. At this moment, this is what you feel. I said, there's nothing you can do about the fact that at this moment, this is what you feel. Now, instead of wanting this moment to be different from the way it is, which adds more pain to the pain that is already here, it is possible for you to completely accept this of what you feel right now. She was quiet for a moment. Suddenly she looked impatient, as if she was going about to get up, and said angrily, "No, I don't want to accept this. Who is speaking?" I asked her. You or the unhappiness in you? Can you see that your unhappiness about being unhappy is just another layer of unhappiness? She became quiet again. I'm not asking you to do anything. All I'm asking is that you find out whether it is possible for you to allow those feelings to be there. In other words, and this may sound strange, if you don't mind being unhappy, what happens to unhappiness? Don't you want to find out? That's being. She looked puzzled briefly, and after a minute or so, sitting silently, I suddenly noticed a significant shift in her energy field. She said, "This is weird. I'm still unhappy, but now there's space around it. It seems to matter less." This was the first time I heard somebody put it like that. There's a space around my unhappiness. That space, of course, comes when there is inner acceptance of whatever you are experiencing in the present moment. I didn't say much else, allowing her to be with the experience. Later she came to understand that the moment she stopped identifying with the feeling, the old painful emotions that lived in her, the moment she put her attention her attention on it directly without trying to resist it, it could no longer control her thinking and so become mixed up with a mentally constructed story called the unhappy me. Another dimension had come into her life that transcended her personal past, a dimension of presence. Since you cannot be unhappy without an unhappy story, this was the end of her unhappiness. It was also the beginning of the end of her pain body. Emotion in itself is not unhappiness. Only emotions plus an unhappy story is unhappiness. When our session came to an end, it was fulfilling to know that I had just witnessed the arising of presence in another. She asked, "What happened here? The energy feels heavy and murky. It almost makes me feel sick. You need to open the window or burn some incense." It's interesting. Notice that, burn some incense. I explained that I had just witnessed a major release in someone with a very dense pain body, and that what she felt must be some of the energy that was released in her session. My friend, however, didn't want to stay and listen. She wanted to get away as soon as possible. I opened the window and went out to have dinner at a small Indian restaurant nearby. What happened there was clear, further confirmation of what I already knew, that on some level, all seemingly individual human pain bodies are connected. Although the form, this particular confirmation, to did come as a shock. It's called the return of pain body. I sat down at the table and ordered a meal. There were a few other guests at a nearby table. There was a middle-aged man in a wheelchair who just was finishing his meal. He glanced at me once briefly but intensely. A few minutes passed. Suddenly he became restless, agitated. His body began twitching. The waiter came to take his place. The man started arguing with him. The food was no good. It was dreadful. Then why did you eat it? Asked the waiter. And that really set him off. He started shouting, became abusive. Foul words were coming out of his mouth. Intense, violent hatred filled the room. One could feel the energy entering the cells of one's body, looking for something to latch onto. Now he was shouting at the other guests too, but for some strange reason ignored me completely as I sat in intense presence. I suspected that the universal human pain body had come back to tell me, you thought you defeated me? Look, I'm still here. I also considered the possibility that the released energy field left behind after our session followed me to the restaurant and attached itself to the one person who found a compatible vibrational frequency. That is to say, a heavy pain body. The manager opened the door. Just leave, just leave. The man zoomed out in his electric wheelchair, leaving everyone stunned. 1 minute later, he returned. His pain body wasn't finished yet. He needed more. He pushed open the door with his wheelchair, shouting obscenities. At a waitress tried to stop him from coming in. He pushed the wheelchair fast forward and pinned her up against